both of them. So I'll just share my screen. Share my screen. Right. Okay. So I hope my screen is visible. So Donate a Book, Donate a Book was started by Pratham Books in the year 2015. And Donate a Book is a crowdfunding model, crowdfunding website as such. Give me 1 second. I'm facing hide thumbnail. Yeah. Donate a Book is a crowdfunding platform, and for those who might be unaware of what a crowdfunding platform is, in short, crowd plus funding. So when you're reaching out to the crowds with a cause and encourage the crowd to contribute to your cause, that is in very short a crowdfunding platform. You might be aware of many, or at least heard of them in many of these automated paid promotions which pop up on your social media platforms like Keto, Milap, and such. So they all are crowdfunding platforms where they enable you to start a campaign, have a story, like sort of let the people know what is your cause for which you're trying to fund. And then you spread the word, share it amongst your network, encouraging people to to contribute to your cause, however big or small, a wholehearted amount. What makes us different, what makes Donate a Book different is the fact that we are exclusively for books. Donate a Book is exclusively for books, and it's unlike the Ketos and Milaps, which take in other forms of campaigns such as medical, maybe livelihood, food, midday meals, and such. Donate a Book is exclusively for books. One other feature which sort of sets us apart is the fact that it's absolutely free. So while many of the crowdfunding platforms charge like a 8% or at least a 10% of like the deduct from the overall amount raised as administrative charges or platform charges, Donate a Book does not charge anything. You get books worth the full amount you are able to raise. So if you have raised, let's just say 1,000 rupees, you get to choose and procure books worth the full 1,000 rupees. There's absolutely no deductions or anything as such. So this is Donate a Book. I'll take you through the Donate a Book website, and we may sort of have a hands-on with it for a few moments after I take you through the deck. So until now, since 2015, we have distributed over 2.5 lakh books, impacting 5.7 lakh children. We have hosted 600 plus campaigns from all over from 25 states in India. And 1.2 crores. So the whole idea, the whole point is, we can deliver books anywhere in India, wherever an organization or a school or a learning center wants books for their reading programs and libraries, we can dispatch and deliver there. So our books have reached all the way from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, the left to right, the Andaman Nicobar, Lakshadweep. Our books are all over these organizations. And also considering Pratham Books has books in 23 Indian languages, including tribal languages, indigenous languages like Jonga, Kui, Sora, Munda, Gondi. So in many of these languages, Pratham Books is the first publisher of children's books in those languages. So that sort of sets us apart, and accordingly we can and we have dispatched books across the country. So our books, I guess those who attended the Storyview platform, Storyview session might be familiar, but nonetheless, here's a brief of how Pratham books are graded. So unlike many of the academic books, which is graded to class, like first standard, second standard, graded to age. There's very specific age groups as well. Our books are graded based on reading levels. So we do not judge we do not judge based on your age. Just because you're in a higher grade, you're able to read a lot. No, we don't make that assumption, and we know from experience, and I bet many of you might concur, that it's not the case. Many of the even the ASER report, whoever are familiar here about the ASER surveys, they too will agree with the same fact. So our books are based on 4 levels: those who are beginning to read, those who just learn to read, like they might require some help, but yes, they can read; those who can read independently, and those who can read proficiently. So based on that, the 4 books are graded into 4 reading levels. Level ones are obviously very short stories, very small sentences, very few words, all the way up to level 4, which are huge paragraphs, proper stories, and they span a more number of pages as well. This is to encourage children to read in a non-judgmental way. It should not happen that they pick up a colorful, beautiful book, they open it, and are like, "Arey, I don't know how, I can't read this." That's not fair. So it should not happen. That's discouraging, especially for a children's book storybook publisher. It's very discouraging that a child picks up a book but unable to read it. So that's exactly why we have graded all our books based on reading levels. One other thing relevant to this context is our library in a classroom kit. So we know from our experience that many of the far-flung areas, many of the government schools do not have the kind of infrastructure suitable for ease of access. So it's there somewhere in the cupboard, or they don't have anything, especially if it's a community center. Such a space is not there to keep books or store books. So it'll always be in some sort of a cupboard or a trunk, and it is not accessible. So what we did is we came up with a library in a classroom kit. This library in a classroom kit can hold up to 100 books. So it is designed to ensure it is very easily portable. It can be literally hung anywhere. If there's just a tree, you can hang it on a tree for the library class and sort of wrap it up and safely keep it inside and bring it out the next day. So that one. And the third and the most important aspect is open access. Children can surround these books, access these books, and there is free communication with each other. So this is the library in a classroom kit that we have. Why I'm introducing you about this, we'll talk about it later. On Donate a Book, there are, as I told you, campaigns. So on any crowdfunding platforms, you start a campaign wherein you speak about your cause. There are 2 types of campaigns which you can set up on Donate a Book, that is on our platform. One is campaign for books in libraries. That is pretty much a no-brainer in the sense that people come on board, start a campaign specifically asking for books for their reading program in libraries. One recent addition, one recent tech upgrade which we took in 2020 was to have a special occasion campaign as well. So let's just say if it's your birthday or in memory of your loved one, you want to sort of start a campaign and support your local library or government school or something like that. You may start a special occasion campaign where you encourage your network to contribute to your cause. So this is called a special occasion campaign. So these are 2 kinds of campaign. We'll go through them with much greater detail once I take you through the website. So I just 2 stories from the field. So one on your left, you see an organization in Lucknow. On your right, you see a village, Zilla Parishad School in Budan, Pochampalli in Telangana state. So moving on, you would also see a picture on your left on Adarsha Seva Samiti in Obalapuram village, and all the way up to Ladakh as well. So we have active partners such as this 17,000 feet org in Leh and Ladakh, and a lot of such reading spaces whom we help through our campaigns and platform. So the process is pretty simple. So the user is expected to the campaigner is expected to create an account and submit their campaign. From our experience, many of them sort of, the style of narration can be different and not always, tailor-made for crowdfunding. So that's exactly why we sort of provide any support or any such grammar corrections or any changes in narrative. We make it more compelling. And once the campaign is set, Like once your account is created, you have submitted the campaign. Pratham Books has the Donate Book team has verified your content, your campaign story. You go live. So once we go live, when I mean live, people can the public can access your campaign. So the responsibility is twofold. On the campaigner, it is like basically, boss, it's your campaign. So you have to do your bit in only in at least spreading the word. Like share the link to your campaign on your Facebook, on Instagram, or through your WhatsApp. Say that, hey, I started this campaign for my children. Please contribute. Let it be a wholehearted amount. No pavandi, no problem. Like big amount, small amount, no problem. Uh, on our end, on Pratham Book side, we do have active channels on our Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter. So we promote your campaign on our channels as well, along with mirroring your campaign on other international websites and platforms. So this is how we together mutually promote the campaign and raise funds. But again, I have to underline one feature here. It is crowdfunding, and the only way we can reach crowd is when both of us mutually share the campaign. For example, we on a monthly or a weekly basis update campaigns on our social media platforms, and it reaches a cohort of a fixed number of people steadily growing. That's not the case with you. You know your campaign, and when you are using your social media platforms to spread the word, whoever is in your network, they know you, and that there is this trust factor which will sort of encourage them to contribute. So this is very important as well, and that's exactly why we both have to mutually promote the campaign. So once your campaign is closed by 30 days, 30 days is a default time period for a campaign. And once that closes, we share the language list with you. So when you're submitting the campaign, one of the questions asked is the language mix. Minimum three. So normally there are normally English, Hindi, Kannada. So if you, I'll take you through the form as well, very briefly. So based on the language mix, we send the availability list, and you choose the books from the catalog. We dispatch the books based on your choice. Again, you have to choose books worth the full amount you are able to raise. We do not deduct any amount. There is absolutely no amount deducted. Once we dispatch the books and you receive the books, after a month or two, we'll reach out to you again to share any form of feedback or testimonials. So this is like a feedback loop as well, in the sense that with this we do what is known as an Impact Thursday. Every Thursday, we promote the impact of the campaigns or impact of Pratham Books in general or Storyweaver. We put that up on our social media channels, and that is called as an Impact Thursday. So that's basically it. So any questions before we do a hands-on session?
Thanks so much, Vivek. Teachers, I would request you, if you have any questions on what Vivek just shared on Donate a Book campaign, please do put these questions down before we start to learn how to, actually create our own campaigns on Donate a Book. I'm going to also share the link with you all so that you can try clicking the link and see what happens.
The session after this, I'll just sort of take you through a hands-on session. So as you see in the chat window, Sonia just shared the link to the platform.
Yeah. And so teachers, there's something really interesting. So we've been working at Teacher Class. I don't know how many of you know, but before COVID or before the pandemic hit the country, we used to run a scholarship program where we would connect low-income, so teachers who taught in low-income schools with tools, teaching tools that they could use in their classrooms. And we've worked with Pratham Library in a Classroom for the past 2 years, actually providing teachers with these library in a classrooms. And the one thing that most teachers actually have given us feedback on is they may have found differentiating their classrooms by reading level really tough, or they didn't know how to do it. And one of the key aspects in which Pratham books was used by most of our teachers was to kind of recognize or figure out and identify where each student's reading level was, because it's really simple, right? You start from the lowest level, and as the child progresses through the levels, the teacher is then able to identify the learning level, hence see, you know, what the goal should be for that particular student or group of students. So yeah, I think, Vivek, your explanation was pretty clear. So no questions as yet. I think the questions will come in as soon as you go onto the platform.
Oh, sure. So now so assuming there are no doubts, and if you have any doubts, please feel free to ask and sort of put that in the chat window, and Sonia and I will work together. So I'll just share my screen again, and I'll just take you through the website Donatable platform. So is my screen? I hope my screen is visible. So this is the Donatabook, the website. So helping India's children read. We have, this is a tracker of the number of states, children, organizations, and the books distributed. Here are a few campaigns that are currently live. By default, there are 6 campaigns that are visible, and it moves on to donate and raise funds. Some of the few of the most prominent, well-known organizations whom we have worked with. So here's the thing. So it is mandatory to create an account, at least for the campaigner. While the donors can do a guest donation without creating an account, a login and creation of an account is necessary for the campaigner. So how do you do that? Click on login. Since you may even log in with any of these two or do a sign up. Let's just say you're trying to log in with Google. So once you press on the G button, you will get the list of accounts through which you want to sign in. So let's just say, again, just to show this, I'll just, okay. So since I've already created an account, it directly logged me in. If it is not created, you will get another pop-up which says allow. So click on the allow button and then you will be logged in. So in short, that is how you very easily create an account and log in onto Donatable. So start a campaign. You may explore the website at your convenience. I'll just take you through the core sheets. So start a campaign. You can either choose here or here. I'll just take you through the page. So introduction on how it works. If you're an individual or an organization working with underserved communities, you may start a campaign. You may start a campaign for libraries, and you need books for your classroom or your reading program. That's where you start a campaign for libraries. And to not sort of confuse you, the start a campaign button here and here are the same. What I told you about the start a campaign for special occasion. Now, this is the special occasion I spoke about earlier, and we'll go through it in detail. So this is a very simple form. While it might seem huge, I bet you would have put together these details somewhere or the other. So I'm hoping it should not take more than 10 to 15 minutes to start this campaign. So the first of the question is name of your organization or school. Which category best describes your organization? So is it a not-for-profit? Are you a private school? Are you a low-income private school, government school, reading library, or other? When I mean other, many times pediatric wards, orphanages, they too apply on Donate-a-Book and they choose other. Head office, the head office phone number, email ID, not your email ID. It is the email ID of the general contact as well. If there are none, you may add your own email ID, especially if you're a volunteer or an individual. Any website, again, so these are mandatory fields. These are not mandatory fields. However, we would love to know who you are, especially if you're an organization, because these details will help us promote the campaign as well. So website, if you have any, if you are on Facebook, if your organization is on Facebook, Twitter, or if you have a blog of sorts, if you have an ATG certification, and for those who do not know what ATG is a tax exemption authorization, which the not-for-profits get to, so that they can give a tax exemption certificate. But again, it's not mandatory that you have it. It is good for us to know whether you have it or not. Now coming to the details, like who you are, like let's just say you are the one starting a campaign, you would be our point of contact. So once the campaign ends, we would be reaching out to you with the book, the availability list. So we would need your details as well. So what would that be? It would be name, position in the organization. You may enter volunteer if you're volunteering for your, let's just say, the local government school in your neighborhood, and you're dedicated to the cause. So you're a volunteer. Complete email ID, correct phone number, uh, number of books and library in a classroom kit. Target amount gets auto calculated, and we go by an average. So Pratham books is one of the most affordable books in the country. Our lowest priced book is 4 rupees, and the highest price is 150, 160 rupees, and that's our price range. But however, the bulk of our books on an average are rupees 50, and that we use as a multiplier. So target amount is right now 50 because the number of books chosen is 50. Let's just say I want 10 books, so automatically the target gets updated. Let's just say I do not want books. I want library in a classroom kit. And remember, library in a classroom kit is a collection of 100 books with the library kit, the whole collapsible kit as well. So let's just say I want one library kit. Library in a classroom costs 6,000 rupees. So it gets auto calculated. Let's just say I want one library kit and 10 books. So that then it's 6,500. So the target amount gets automatically calculated. So I choose the three languages. So these are the most popular languages from our experience. However, you may always choose other and check if we have books in stock in those languages. Let's just say Gondi. Gondi, for example, we are driven by demand. Let's just say you want books in Gondi, at least you may specify I'm looking for books in Gondi, and we might as well go through our stock and share whatever availability list we have. So choose up to 3 languages. If you want more, no problem. You may always specify. Especially when we are reaching out to you with the availability list, you may always ask for more languages if you really need them. So that shouldn't be a problem. So the final section, and actually the most important section, especially for the campaign itself, for the people-facing campaign itself, is the campaign story. So this is the first question. First is the title of your campaign. Let it not be very generic. Joy of reading. Let it not be that generic, but let it be specific to the organization or the school or your classroom. So that would be the title. Tell us about your organization. Again, what does your organization stand for? What do they do? Number of children impacted. Again, these are all a part of impact analysis. What kind of children? Where do the children come from? So that would be, my children are from rural areas, or they are from low-income urban areas, or they are living in tribal areas. You may choose as appropriate. So that shouldn't be a problem. This one helps us to analyze the kind of impact that we are able to have. The last 2 question is, what work do you do and how does it impact the society? Here you talk about your intervention. While while this was about your organization, this is specifically about any of the intervention and the impact it has had. Now coming to a very specific question regarding books, how will the books be utilized? So this is how this is called as a campaign story. Campaign image. So here you are expected to upload one relevant campaign image. So let it not be very generic. Since these are books for your classroom and books for children, let it be appropriate. Let them be reading a book and a photo of them reading a book, or let them, they're drawing something or they're doing a skit, anything. Let it be appropriate to the story which you're trying to tell. So that is important. Then the state, city, and if you have, again, as you see, it's not mandatory. If your organization has a video, it was great, and you may enter the YouTube link here. If you want annual reminders, please check this. Please go through our terms of use and select this one. If you wish to preview, you may preview, and then you click on submit. Once you submit, we'll go to, Pratham Books and the Donator Book team will go through, check for any grammatical issues or make it more appealing and such, and then you go live, and the live campaigns start, they are visible here. So I'll just take you through one such campaign, and just to show you how it will look. So this is called as the campaign title. This is their funding goal. This is the amount they have raised, or this is the name of the organization. This is the amount they have raised. 13 more days to go. That means they have 13 more days to raise funds. We have 13 more days to raise funds. It's mutual. And these are for the donors. So if they can edit the amount field here and click on support. If they want to share the campaign, and remember, please encourage your donors, your network, even if they cannot, let's just say they are not in a position to donate or make a donation, let them at least share it further. So again, this is exactly how a crowdfunding model works. It has to reach the crowd and encourage them to contribute. So even if any one single person cannot contribute on his own or his or her own, let them at least spread the word. That too is a start. So as you go, and this is the campaign image, our story, that is the story of Shikshana Foundation, like who we are, what is the work they do, and how will the books be utilized, along with their website and Facebook. So you remember we had filled these were the fields in the form, and they get populated here. Know more about us. So this is how a campaign works. If you were to click on support a campaign, again, just taking you through it, this is the page which the donors will see. If there is any amount you wish to, any specific amount you may choose here. If there is a very particular amount, many people have 101 is a very common value. So 101 billing details. Again, if I need, do I want to be anonymous or not? Do I need a tax exemption certificate or not? Then I agree to the terms and conditions and click on donate. So that's as simple, and you will be taken to the checkout page of CC Avenue. That is something most of you will be familiar with, because it's very similar to checkout pages of online portals and such. So that shouldn't be a problem. So this is in short Donator Book. I request all the teachers to explore this and actively use it to crowdfund books for your libraries. Right now, we have some major collaborations such as Gram Panchayat libraries with RDPR, Rural Development and Panchayati Raj in India. So we have raised a sizable amount. Recently, some of the campaigns were with St. Jude's Cancer Care Centers as well. They too raised a pretty good amount and such. So that is basically, so many of them handsomely met their targets, crossed their targets as well at 101.6. In fact, this is the right time to be starting a crowdfunding platform, because let's just say Book Santa. With Christmas, tomorrow is Christmas, with New Year around the corner. These are occasions where you can tap into, especially, and Jan, we have another festival. So these are the occasions where the individual can tap into encouraging the crowd to contribute. So let's just say, for example, Dashera mein Saraswati Puja aati hai. So book Saraswati, since again we associate books with Saraswati, that's another great occasion. Thanksgiving is celebrated. So or even Book Santa, as I told you. So these are occasions where contributions can be made, and you leverage your crowd accordingly to encouraging them to donate to your cause. So this, in short, is Donate a Book. I'll just take a break here if you have any questions for me. But otherwise, I hope, again, let me know if you have any questions, and I'll take you through that feature or answer that specific query now. Or if you want to sort of use the link which Sonia had shared in the chat window and sort of explore, you may take the next few minutes, like a couple of minutes, to sort of go around the website.
Hi. All right. So I think there are no more questions that we have. There are no questions we have from teachers. So I have a question, Vivek, in terms of, since most of the people on this call are educators, right? How and they may not necessarily, how easy is this Donate a Book platform for an individual to raise money or books for their projects that they're doing in the classroom?
There is no one size fit all solution. Absolutely, there is no one size fit all solution, Sonia. So, I mean, I'm not trying to sound discouraging. That's not what the intention. There are big organizations who do not raise. There are there are individuals who handsomely raise. So it depends on it's entirely dependent on how a person or an organization leverages their connects. It's entirely dependent on that. So if at least to get people encouraging and the teachers encouraging, I would recommend that they start small. Maybe may not be 1 lakh, may not be a campaign for 1 lakh rupees, but maybe a campaign for 10,000 rupees. 10,000 at least for one classroom is a very good amount to get Pratham books. So and you get a lot, like 10,000 mein to, you get an entire library kit and 4,000 rupees worth of more additional Pratham books, and it's a pretty good amount. 200 books actually. Yeah. So you get a sizable number of books. So it's always a very good idea to start small. Let them start small. Maybe then you may sort of test the waters, test your crowd. You have a 30-day window to experiment, explore different social media platforms, explore different narratives, and
Okay,
yeah, fingers crossed.
got it. So what happens if you fail to collect your target amount?
Again, let's just say you started a campaign for 10,000 rupees and you were able to raise 6,000 rupees. You can buy books worth the full 6,000 you are able to raise. We will not deduct anything.
Got it. So, teachers, in case that you don't hit your target, you can actually purchase books to the amount that you have raised.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to try rephrasing my question again, Vivek, just so that we get. So, what if you're an individual teacher who wants to raise money for a library in in your classroom, and you don't want? How do you have to give an organization's name? Because in the
No, no,
application form, it shows organization, and all of those are mandatory fields, right?
no. So there are mandatory fees, and again, if he or she is a class, if it's a teacher in a classroom, I mean, the school name, the name of the school. It can be the name of the school.
Okay. Is
Did I answer the question? Because
Yeah, I think you've answered it to an extent. So, I mean, the teacher will have to share her school's name,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Got it. Um,
Or
so
even if it's a community library center, let it be, let's just say MG Road. I mean, I'm giving an example. I don't know, some Halli, South India. Okay, Lucknow Community Reading Center. I don't know. The name of
got it. Yeah,
the name.
I think yeah, that's clear now. All right. Cool. So to answer you, Julie, I think that so one question is there a place where you can view all of Pratham's offerings, like the
Oh yeah,
library?
yeah. That would be the Storyweaver platform.
All right. So Julie, ma'am, that Storyweaver platform. I think you were there yesterday, day before yesterday, for our class on Storyweaver.
I guess I mean, I'm just reading the question, especially for IITs and medical
Yeah, I
exams.
was just going to answer that. Go
Uh,
ahead.
so, do you want me to take it, or you
Yeah, yeah,
want?
please take it.
Yeah. So, I guess this is a not a misconception, but an over expectation, which is very prevalent in India. These are books for the sheer joy of reading. They are not designed, again, they are relevant but not designed to help children crack any exams. There are books on simple machines, definitely. There are books on simple machines. There are definitely books on water cycle. There are definitely STEM, science, tech, engineering, math themed books, which teachers actively leverage in their classroom to make study fun. But these are not exam preparation books. No, 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 no. And I guess and I guess it's, again, it might be very ambitious. It might be very ambitious of me to say this, but I'll just put it out there. Again, it's up for debate, and we may always debate. uh, इस किताब से मैंने क्या सीखा? What did I learn from this book? I guess we have to keep that thought at least aside. I'm not trying to oppose that thought. Keep that thought aside. These are just for the sheer joy of reading, sheer pleasure of reading.
All right. And I think just to add to what Vivek shared, and what was shared as well on a live class on Storyweaver, there's a lot of data to suggest that if students read for pleasure, then their learning levels or in math, in English, and in other subjects also are really high. So I think with that, we can move on to the next segment because there are no other questions. But we can move on to the next segment on Dial a Story.
Okay, sure. For this particular session, teachers, I would sort of please have your phone around. If you're using this hotspot itself now, that might result in some connectivity issues. Just giving a heads up, missed call though Kahaani Suno requires a phone because you are expected to give a missed call. I will take you through the steps right away. Then I'll stay on during the call while you might experiment and explore. So I'll just share my screen for this. Missed call though Kahaani Suno. Okay, so Missed Call the Kahaani Suno. This is the project which we piloted early on this year, just when the lockdowns were announced. With many of the children no more having access to books, joyful reading books, and also many children even today facing issues with internet or access to devices. We came up with the project known as Missed Call the Kahaani Suno. The This is a project which is providing free access to engaging content for children across the country. And you're giving a missed call, so therefore it's absolutely free. There are no costs involved to you. The project leverages cloud calling technology. That means there is no one specific person calling you. It's all There is a system out there making these automatic calls. The user is guided via IVR, interactive voice recording. That too might be many of you might be familiar with. Right now, as of today, more than 300 stories are offered across 4 languages: English, Hindi, Marathi, and Kannada, and it is compatible across mobile devices and network. So Reliance ho, एयरटेल हो, वोडाफोन हो, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. Smartphone ho, even if it's a smartphone or not a smartphone, if it's just a normal GSM phone, it still works. So the whole idea is, as long as you have a mobile device, that's it. Very easy steps. So the step one: you give a missed call to 080. Again, we'll try this, teachers. For now, I'll just take you through the steps. We'll try this immediately after this session, which is almost over. You give a missed call to 080-6826-44448. The call automatically disconnects after one ring. You receive an incoming call. You choose the language. Press 1 for English, press 2 for Hindi, press 3 for Marathi, and press 4 for Kannada. That's the first choice you make. And based on the language chosen, you then select the age. Stories for children who are younger than 5, and stories for children who are older than 5. Not these stories are appropriate. Audio stories are appropriate for children in the age bracket of 3 to 10 approximately. Now then, once you have made your language preference and your age preference clear, then you listen to the story. So in short, this is the step, and currently, at least this current project is funded with supported by Cognizant Foundation. You will hear all of those details on the call itself, and I'll not repeat it. But basically, this is it. So I hope you may spend a minute or two exploring this. 6826-4448. So I'll just 080-6826-4448. So I just oh yeah, even Sonia has dialed that in the chat window. Just take out your phones, try this. How teachers are how are teachers using it, especially in interventions where there are no mobile devices, there is no network, there are no schools, there are no classrooms open. That is how this is, especially in these places, teachers are actively leveraging Missed Call Do Kahaani Suno. In some form, at least engage the younger crowd. Maybe ask them what story did you listen to today? At least encourage engagement with stories. Engage children with stories. That has been the intention. So anyway, the number is on your chat window: 080-6826-44448. The call will automatically disconnect after one ring, and you will receive an incoming call. Please try, and if you face any issues or if you have any questions, please key them in the chat window.
Thanks, Vivek. Thank you so much. Teachers, if you have any question regarding the Dial a Story campaign, it's called the Kahaani Suno, you can ask through the chat. Or even if you have any query regarding the campaign which Vivek has just shared, or you want to know more about these campaigns, you can just share through the chat, and we will take your question to the Vivek. And meanwhile, you can dial this number which has been shared on the chat. You can just try and see how it works. How you will like your students will be able to listen these stories through their phones, and what can come what challenges can come during this call, and you can ask these questions through the chat.
So this sort of, again, I guess you'll be trying out the number. These are just stories, and you may always play around how to leverage them in your class.
Thanks, Vivek. I think teachers are trying to get on this number. So, Vivek, do you want to share uh, anything more about the campaign? Do you want to say anything last concluding words to the teachers?
Well, exploring does not hurt. Please explore, especially teachers who want books for their reading programs and their libraries. Please, and they need support. This is the kind of crowd whom Donate a Book as a platform assists. So if you need support for books, please reach out to, please explore Donate a Book platform. Storyviewer session is already over, and if at least digital infrastructure is available, Storyviewer is a go-to place to at least get open access, free content for your interventions. That too, Storyviewer is an option. I guess my colleagues and friends would have covered it. There is also a reading program on Storyweaver, along with the learn at home curation of lists. Uh, Radhika Mahesh has asked if I have some books to donate, how do I do that? So we do not, Donate a Book does not accept physical books, it's monetary donations. So while we do not have any affiliations, I guess Goons accepts physical books. Again, I do not have any affiliations as such, but you may check out their pickup centers and drop your books there. But Donate a Book is for monetary donations only. We do not accept physical books.
Great. Thanks, Vivek. So thank you so much, teachers, for coming on today's live class. Thank you so much for your patience, and thank you so much, Vivek, for sharing our beautiful campaigns and the innovation which Pratham Books are currently working on, such as Storyweaver, Donate a Book, and a Miss Call. And you all are trying to work for the teachers and for the students who are not able to cope up with the current or the modern education system, but also how we can make them to or take them to the level where they can also uh, utilize the resources which needs to be shared with all the children. Thank you so much for that. Teachers, I am just while you are trying this number on a missed call, though, I am going to share our upcoming schedule for our live classes. And these are last live classes for this year. On this Saturday, we are conducting a live class on ticklinks where we are going to share about the how you can access the free lesson plans resources from Ticklink's platform, how you can search your resources by a simple search option, how you can get your badges, and how you can access the certificate for these badges. And the teachers who are going to participate during the live class going to have a certificate for the participation. How you can access the free lesson plans resources from Ticklink's platform. Okay. And then we are having a live class on Google Forms with quiz. It's a beginner level live class where we learn about the very simple and basic features of the Google Forms. And then on Thursday, we have a class on Google Slides. Again, this is a repetitive class where Pinka ma'am is going to teach us about the features of the Google slide, which can be used to create creative presentations and the lesson plan for our students. And these class also have providing the certificates for the teacher who are going to participate and going to share their Google slides during the live class. So teachers, do sign up for our upcoming live classes. Share the link with your peer teachers too. And I'm also going to share a small message. If you like our today's session, please share this message with your peer teachers. Let them know about a teacher class foundation and its work. You can also try share the donate a book program and the it's called the Kahaani Suno program with your peer teachers so that they can also get to know about this, and if they want to connect with the Pratham books, they can get connected with them and get support regarding the campaigning. If they are looking for the campaigning, they can get support from the Pratham books. Thank you so much, Vivek, for coming here. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for sharing about the campaigns in a very clear manner, in a very beautiful manner. Uh, I hope you will get some more connection regarding the campaigning and the vision you have and your organization have regarding the Donate a Book program and supporting underprivileged schools or teachers and students to bring the joy in their life too will get achieved soon. So thank you so much, Vivek.
Thank you, thank you. So please explore both Storyweaver, Donate a Book, and the Missed Call. Though please spread the word. Yeah, let's see. See you soon on Donate a Book.
Thanks, Vivek.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye
Oh, Happy
bye.
New Year. Happy Merry Christmas.
Yes, Vivek. Radhika ma'am, I'm asking for your number. Oh,
Donate a book at prathambooks.org. I guess that should. I'll just donate a book. Pratham Books. Uh, donate. Yeah. So just drop a mail to donate a book at prathambooks.org. I will respond with whatever query, and if need be, get on a call as well.
thanks. Great. Vivek. Thank you so much. So, teachers, I'm again going to share the list of the of our upcoming live classes. Please do sign up for our upcoming live classes. Share the list with your peer teachers too. Thank you so much for coming here. Now we are going to end our live class. If anyone having any query or any question, please ask. Otherwise, we will end our live class. I'll just wait for a few seconds more.
Bye.
Bye bye, Vivek. Thanks, Julie, ma'am. Bye. Have a good evening, ma'am. Thanks, ma'am. You too. Happy New Year, all. Hope to see you soon on Saturday. Happy New Year, everyone, and have a good evening. Okay, I'm going to end our today's session. You all have a good evening, and we hope we'll see you in our upcoming live classes. And these are the live classes who are going to organize as our last live classes of this year. So please do sign up for these live classes. And on 26th, it's our 100th live class. So please sign up and share with share the sign up link with other teachers too, so that it can be converted into a big celebration. Thank you so much, teachers. Have a good day. Bye bye. Bye, everyone. Thank you so much.